All right, everybody, welcome to the Monday Night Swarm meeting. We used to call it the Monday Night Swarm call. It's now called the Monday Night Swarm meeting. Tonight is Monday, March 17th, 2014. Super excited to have all of you guys here. Just first of all, I want to say welcome. Thank you for taking 45 minutes out of your Monday to come and join us. This is Team Swarm. So this is a team of around 2,900 coaches. We're fastly approaching 3,000 total coaches in our organization. I don't know if you're brand new, if you've been around a while. I don't want to assume that everybody knows who I am and why I'm the guy that's on here talking tonight. But my name is Tommy Migrant. Back in April of 2008, so almost 6 years ago, I was the very first Swarm coach that enrolled, and we've now got a team of growing leadership. Just amazing the number of names that we have on recognition now, the leaders that are growing. Like I said, around 2,900 coaches. And so I'm just grateful for the opportunity that coaching has brought into my life, how it's changed my life. And tonight we're going to talk about, some events that are coming up. This is what we do every Monday night. We cover some of the events that are coming up, some of the things you're going to want to know about to make sure that you're on top of with the company and with events. We're going to give some recognition. We spend about maybe 5 or 10 minutes giving recognition to the coaches on our team that are working hard. And then we either cover a topic or we have a guest. Last week we had Joe and Tina Gonzalez, who were elite and premier coaches last year, and they're on their way to being elite coaches this year. Tonight we're going to talk about elite. And we'll get a little bit more into that, but we want to make sure that everybody kind of has a firm grip on what that is. And I think that there's going to be something for everybody, whether you're brand new, whether you're someone that's like, I'm not going to be elite. I think there's going to be some topic in here tonight that's going to talk to you about everyone. So it's a little bit more of a business discussion, a little bit less motivational than sometimes is. But with that said, I'm glad that you guys are here. Every Monday night, we're here at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I encourage you guys strongly to stay connected, to stay plugged in to this call and to the national wake-up call that's every Monday at 11 a.m. We do record these calls each and every week. We are now posting them on a YouTube channel. And so you can follow and subscribe to that YouTube channel. And Nicola, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Nicola, if you would post that in the Swarm Cave, I believe it's youtube.com/Swarm Calls. Is that right, Nicola? I see you. Yeah, is that right? Swarm Calls. So if you go to YouTube and you look up Swarm Calls, all of the Zoom calls are going to be archived there on YouTube. You can pull up those videos and watch them anytime you want. So, but I do prefer, if I were you guys, I would try to make the live call because sometimes the recording goes haywire. And there's just something about being on the call live where you just feel more connected and you feel like you're in the moment and you're going to get a little bit more out of it than you typically would if you listen to a recording. So this is where you want you and your coaches to be. So you want to make sure that you're tagging people and getting them to these calls every week and keeping everybody that you can plugged in. So with that said, let's talk about events that are coming up. We know that the Success Club cruise trip that's going to the Cayman Islands is leaving on Monday. So a lot of us are heading down to Fort Lauderdale this weekend. So listen, if you're a coach and you're not going on that trip and you're wondering where all the team leaders are and all those things, if we're not posting on Facebook as often, if we're not hosting the calls, you're going to have to forgive us because we're going to be celebrating together and we're going to be networking and brainstorming with the leaders from the network and with company people like Carl Deichler and Jeff Hill. So we're going to be on a cruise for that week. So that doesn't mean that work stops. I want you guys to understand that. It doesn't mean that you guys stop working. We're going to be working on that boat. We're going to be having fun, but we're also going to be working and learning and growing and networking. You guys that are staying back home, it's really up to you during that week. I got to tell you, every time that I've left to go on a trip, it's amazing to me that there's some people on the team who really step up when the leadership leaves, right? Because you have it in you to do that. And somebody's got to step up and it might as well be you. Well, every time that I leave on a long trip like that, there's always some new leaders that step up and I come back and I go, wow, this person, enrolled 4 or 5 people. They're taking action. They're leading the charge of the pages, which is really great. So that cruise is this week. Now, following the cruise is something that everyone that's on this call, everyone that's listening to this is going to want to get to, which is the live Super Saturday events that are going to happen on April 12th. So we have about a month till then, but you want to start looking up your local events now and making sure that you get the local event in your state. You can just go to your online office, click on events, search your state, and watch that Super Saturday list of that's coming out. I know that I'm personally going to be in Chicago. So if you have anybody that's within a drive of Chicago, I would love to see you at the Chicago Super Saturday. I think a lot of our team in Northern Ohio, maybe Michigan, is going to go to Janelle Summers' event up in Toledo, Ohio. I believe Mark Klanik's also hosting an event in Cleveland, Ohio. There's going to be events all over the place. I know Greg Bird and Stacy Hanna have one up in Traverse City, Michigan. So look up the Super Saturday near you. That's April 12th. Typically, it might cost you, $5 or $10 to attend one of those events. Take your guests. Invite some people to go with you. Invite your local coaches to go with you. Take a road trip if you have to. But it's definitely worth getting to. Also, we've been talking about the Franklin Covey time management training. I attended that in Nashville last week, and I got to tell you that if time management and just getting organized and getting balanced in your life so that you don't feel totally consumed, like you're ignoring your family and ignoring your work, or you don't have the time to do this Beachbody stuff the way that you want to, I got to tell you, the Franklin Covey trainings, I give them a huge thumbs up. I think that that's something you guys should look into attending. I know that they're going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're going to be taking some coaches there, but they're all over the country. They do them 3 times a month somewhere in the country. They're led by Denise Needham, who is incredible. She's from the company. Again, you just go to your events and look up your state. You can look up Franklin Covey trainings. It's called the 5 Choices to Extraordinary Productivity. And I got to tell you that even just this first week after being back, I've just noticed myself becoming more productive, just taking some of the things that I learned. So I highly recommend that. Danny Johnson, First Steps to Success in Baltimore, Maryland. I think we have 12, 13, 14 coaches that are on the list to go for the first time. We got several more that are going that have been before. But Baltimore, Maryland, that's going to be the weekend of May 3rd, 4th, and 5th is the Monday, which is the home business section. If you're on the list to go, I would strongly consider going to the Monday section for that. But First Steps to Success, Danny Johnson. Listen, if you've never been before, get in touch with me or Nicola Shiflett. We can get you on the list for discounted ticket pricing. That's going to be in Baltimore, Maryland, May 3rd. And then the big event for the company is Summit. So just so you guys know, the rooms at the MGM are sold out. So when I was telling you guys 6-7 weeks ago to get on the ball and get going and get on your Summit, because the rooms were going fast, I was not lying to you. I wasn't telling you a fib just to get you to sign up. They were going fast. They're now sold out. So either you register and you find someone that you can room with at the MGM, or there's additional rooms at the Monte Carlo and I think the Luxor Hotel. Those are available in the online office. There might be some people that are selling a package that maybe they bought 10 months ago and just can't make the trip. But there's no reason why. I think right now, listen, typically we take 100 or more coaches from this team. And I think we're at like 50 or 60. I think 63 or something like that. We've had several people just in the last week go ahead and get registered for that. I know Mandy Miller did. There's a list of about 5, 6, 7 people who made a choice after last week to get registered for Summit. Now's the time to do that. Don't hesitate. Listen, call up a couple of your coaches and be like, hey, why don't we take a road trip to Vegas? What the heck? I got to tell you that it's worth the trip. And if you split the room 3 or 4 ways, you can really save some money. Some of you are within a drive of Las Vegas, Nevada at that. So with that said, those are the events that are coming up. I just want to remind everybody that the Combat Challenge Pack is on sale for $140 for the rest of this month. And I've actually had some success with that, just in talking and enrolling new coaches, and maybe they didn't want a new program because they already had it like T25 and X3 and all that. And I said, well, you might as well just get the Combat Challenge Pack, and it was a way for me to get them in the Challenge Pack when they enrolled as a coach. So just know that that's the special for the rest of this month. We did give an update on the 21-day fix orders. I don't have all the details of that, but as far as how they're going to ship them out when somebody places an order. But by the end of this month, they should be all caught up. And coming in April, then they should be ordering live. So they're already starting. I know for coach enrollments, I just got notified today that new coaches that order the Fix Challenge Pack will get it sent immediately now. So that's all caught up. And they're getting caught up on the rest of the packs, and the base kits should all be out by the end of this month. So with that said, let's get into some recognition for the team. And we got a lot of people to recognize, which means that, man, this team is just doing some great work out there. We're definitely in a growth phase. One thing, I'm 6 years as a coach now, and I can tell you that we've had moments where we've grown, and then we kind of maybe settle down and kind of gather, and then maybe we dip a little or we stay the same. Then we grow again. Right now, we're growing. And so that means that we have a lot of new coaches. We want to make sure that we're taking care of those new coaches, getting them through coach basics, getting them through their quick start calls, making sure that they get focused on Success Club and Emerald and starting their first group, giving them those options. And so with that said, let's give some recognition. We have some new coaches that are recognized tonight for their rank advancements. So we have several coaches who have rank advanced to Emerald. So if you are brand new and you're not quite sure what Emerald is the first level of team building, and you're going to hear a lot about team building tonight on tonight's call. But it's the first level where you can now you have one coach on your right that you've sponsored and one coach on your left. One of them can be your spouse. I highly suggest if you're going to do this long term that you do that with your spouse. But once you reach Emerald, now you can qualify for the free customer lead. So if you get to Emerald by the end of March, you'll start getting free customers in April. So these coaches have reached Emerald for this month. Tomorrow, Dobbins, awesome. Tomorrow to see you on that list. Katrina Slaughter, awesome. Kevin McGuire, Michelle Bigelow, and I believe it's Derek Geary, I believe is the name. And if I screwed that up, I apologize. But those coaches all rank advanced to Emerald. We do have a guy who had left for a couple of years and just came back, and now he's at Ruby. His name is Frank McGuire. He's now at Ruby. He's one coach away from being Diamond coach again. So good to see Frank back, and he's doing some great things. I know that his new coach, Rick Fulton, also got to Emerald, and so that's how he got back to Ruby. And then we have some new Diamonds. Holly Damon and Christine Grier both reached Diamond status this week. So congratulations to you ladies. That's kind of that's a status right there. I mean, I think we have about 75 or 80 total Diamond coaches in our team out of 3,000 people. So when you reach that level, you kind of elevate yourself up in leadership. And so those ladies have done that. I know Holly Damon did it, I believe, in less than 90 days. She's just been on fire. And Christine Grier, just great to see her make that list as well. Let's look at the top team builders for the week. So these are coaches who enrolled 2 or more brand new coaches for the week. So for 1 week and 7 days, they've enrolled at least 2 coaches, which means this: they're sharing the opportunity with people, whether that's their current challengers, current customers, or people that they think the opportunity fits. They're not afraid to go out there and put Beachbody coaching in front of people. So those people with 2 or more: Rick Fulton, Daryl Fisher, I myself had 2, Sarah Zook, Lisa Burdick, Christine Grier, Holly Damon, Nikki Rusko, Sarah Mahilo, Benjamin Villarreal, Tina Ramos, and then Ashley Nixon has 5 new coaches. So she led the pack with 5 brand new people this week. And I think like 4 of them were today, like in one day, 3 or 4 of them all today, which was awesome. Let's look at Success Club for the month. So again, if you're a brand new coach, you're not sure what Success Club is, that's something you want to quickly figure out. Emerald and Success Club, you need to quickly figure those out. Success Club is our monthly goal, and it's something that we shoot for. And the best coaches are ones that hit Success Club, on a consistent basis, which just means that you're consistently helping 3 or more people get started on their fitness or coaching journey, which is really in a given month. So these coaches are in Success Club 5 already for March. Nikki Rusko, Cheryl McCarthy, Tina Osborne, Danielle Barrera, Clint Osborne, which means Tina Osborne made it twice. She got her and her husband in Success Club already, which is awesome. Lori Bolden, Courtney Vandemark, Stacy Hanna, I'm in Success Club 5. Tina Belangia, Tina Gonzalez, Lynette Shuley, Nicole Kobe, and Sarah Stevens. And then in Success Club 10 with 10 to 20 points, we have Rick Fulton, David Edge, Ashley Malone, Christine Grier, Brandy Backus, Ashley Nixon, Joe Gonzalez, Lindsay McGuire, Kathy Kandera, and Liz Bellini. And then Sarah Mahilo is in Success Club 20. She has 25 points already. It's only the 17th of the month. I mean, that girl's just crushing it. Sarah, I don't know if you're on tonight, but we're going to have you on the call here sometime soon on the Monday Night Swarm meeting. So sometime in April, I'm going to get a hold of you because you've just been doing incredible, man. Your transformation story is awesome. And then obviously you've been doing the business at a really high level for several months now. So I know that you're not someone that's just going to come in and blow up and then disappear. You're in it, which is awesome. Let's look at the top volume exploders for the week. So these are people with 500 or more volume. The list is a little bit shorter than it was last week. We had the biggest list ever. There was like 80 people on this list. This week we have like 10. In the Swarm 500, Billy Joe Turner, Dan Smith, Tyler Davis, and Lisa Burdick. In the Swarm 600, Tina Osborne and Lori Bolden. I was at 860, and then Liz Bellini led the pack at 913. So she had 913. So So that's so awesome, guys. And when we read that recognition, the first thing I want you guys to understand is it really is just people who have taken seriously the mission to help others. That's really our mission, is to help others. People who aren't afraid to go out and share who we are and what we do, why we do it, and why someone else should consider it. And so they're doing that on a consistent basis, which means that they're constantly bringing in new challengers. They're constantly bringing in new coaches. They're building a team. And that really brings me into tonight's topic. So I hope that you guys have a pen handy, because I think it's important for us to understand what we're going to talk about tonight. And man, it kind of came to my attention. So, I had a couple of the longtime leaders. I think it was Danielle Barrera and Liz Bellini, who they do this business and they do a great job of it. And they had some questions about Elite, because every month we get this report in an email, right, called our Elite Points. And so some of you might be getting this and going, why am I getting zeros? Or why do I only have 2 points? Or why do I have 20 points? Or however many points you have, right? And you might not understand that system. And when I really think about this business from the team building side, I mean, let's face it, there's 2 ways to make money in this business, right? If you're looking to build an income, there's 2 ways to help people in this business. There's 2 ways to get recognized in this business, okay? One is to retail, which is to go out and find new challengers and bring them in as customers and get them in a program and get them in Shakeology or get them in whatever products that we have. The other side is team building, okay? And team building is something that we talk about greatly in our ramp group. So like right now we have 30 coaches in our current ramp group. We're going to be starting another ramp group. So ramp is kind of this emerald to diamond transition where we really teach the skill set of team building and the philosophy behind team building and why you want to team build. So if you've not been through that, we're going to be starting a new ramp group on April 14th that several of the leaders on our team run. And you're going to want to make sure you qualify for that. To qualify for that, you have to be Emerald and in Success Club this month, and then you can qualify for that ramp group starting next month. But we talk about team building a lot. So I want you to write this down: Elite and Premier. Okay, there are 2 statuses that the company recognizes as the top team building people. All right, people who have done what they consider the best job of building the team, and they've created a point structure around this. And whether you're a brand new coach, or whether you're someone who has maybe struggled in the business, or whether you are someone who's just been crushing it, I think that if you look at the Elite and you come to understand the different things required to hit Elite, then you'll come to understand really what is required for you to if you focus on those things, then you're going to get focused on building a team. You're going to get focused on bringing in good people, and you're going to get focused on helping more people exponentially through team building. Okay, there's a reason why we incentivize team building at such a great level on both the income and the recognition side. And to be honest with you, it's because the more people that we get as coaches who are out there talking about who we are and what we do, the more likely this is to spread and to help more people. Does that make sense? Right? I mean, you alone can't go out and help, 10,000 people this year. But if you had a team of 100 coaches, and they each help 10, that would be 1,000. So if you had 1,000 coaches and they each help 10 this year, 1 person a month, that would be 10,000 lives that got introduced to Beachbody through your team. Okay. And so the Elite status and the Premier status. So I've been an Elite coach 3 times. I've made the Elite top 10 2 times. So Elites, I completely understand. Some of you, maybe you're not math people and you're like, I don't care how to score points. I just want to, do this. Even if you're not a point person, you can focus on the activities that we're going to talk about in Elite. Okay. Even if you don't want to understand the comp plan, you don't want to understand how these points are scored. What we're going to discuss is going to help you get focused on what to do to get new people and what to do when you get them. Does that make sense? So if any of you want to build a team, you're going to want to know this stuff. So how this works is this. There's a point system in place for Elite. Okay. And so the people who score 100 or 25 total points for the calendar year, Elite points, can then qualify to earn this title of Elite coach, right? Does that make sense? And there's some special incentives that you get. You get extra days on the trip, so you get an extra day, and like an event at Summit, you get an extra day. At Leadership, you get an extra day on the Success Club trip or whatever. You get special recognition. At Summit, you get to be on the stage and all that stuff. And it really is just an honor to be considered one of the top people in the network, right? but what I want to do is kind of break down the categories of how you score points. And then what I did was I wrote some just questions that I think people might commonly have, and I'm going to answer those questions. And hopefully through those two things, talking about the system and then talking about those questions, will answer a lot of your questions, whether elite is something you want to be or not. But the one thing I know is this: you can't shoot for something if you don't know what it is. So my job isn't to determine which one of you guys could be an elite coach. It doesn't matter who you've been before. It doesn't matter if you're brand new. It doesn't matter, if you've hit it last year. What matters is what you do now. The thing that I love about the elite system, we're going to talk about this, is that it keeps you focused on result producing activities. Like, it keeps you focused on bringing in new people, because in order to hit it, you have to bring in new people in the last 12 to 24 months. All right. So the first category where you can score points is this: new coaches that you brought in from the beginning of 2013 through all of 2014. Okay, so in this category, they're going to count Success Club. So anybody that you sponsor, so let's say that you signed up in June of last year, anyone you sponsored from June through December, all the way through 2014, if any of those new coaches earn Success Club in a month, you get 1 point. Okay, you get 1 point. If you also earn Success Club, they double that. So if you get, and then that maxes out, I believe, at 55 points, something like that. The max you can get towards your elite is 55 points. So, I mean, really, if you just found 2 or 3, if you had 3 or 4 coaches of your own who also make Success Club, coaches that you've brought in the last year to 2 years, right? So like people that I sponsored in 2010, if they make Success Club, I don't get elite points for this year because I didn't bring them in that window. But if you get 3 coaches a month and you hit Success Club, you're going to score 36 points. If you get 4, you're going to score 48 points, right? Because 3 times 2 is 6. So if I have 3 of my own coaches, so it's not like you have to go out and have, 1,000 personally sponsored coaches in order to hit this thing. But it does require that you go out and you find people who are willing to do what we do as coaches, which is what you're doing, right? Plugging into the calls, going out there, starting challenge groups, at least getting to Emerald and higher, right? And so if you trying to hit Success Club, having that as a consistent goal. New coaches in 2013, 2014. So you can score points pretty quickly in that if you do. Now, the key is to find coaches who are willing to do what we do, right? That's the key. That's one of the reasons why I firmly believe in the challenge group process of starting people as challengers. What the company will tell you, and they know all the stats, and it's how I came in and how many of my coaches have come in, is that challengers make the best coaches because they have experience. They love the products. They've gotten results. People are already asking them about results. They can see themselves wanting to share it because they've built up a love and a passion for what we have and what we do. And who we are as a community, right? So how do that's the key is getting people that are on board and then getting them to focus on hitting Success Club and using that as their monthly marker of whether or not they're out there sharing, right? Does that make sense? I mean, listen, we signed up as coaches. Let's keep this thing pretty friggin' simple. Our job is to share. Our job is to invite people to join us. That's our job. That's what we signed up for, right? We signed up for promoting what we have and knowing that we're doing something good for other people, all right? So getting your personally sponsored coaches into Success Club is one category where you can score points, and then you making Success Club yourself can make that happen faster. The second area is this: new coaches only from 2014. So whoever you sponsored from the beginning of this year through the end of this year, whenever the accumulated volume of those coaches hits 500 volume, okay, you're going to earn 1 point. It's pretty simple, all right? It's pretty simple. So if I go out, if I sponsored 5 people this year, and every one of those 5 people produce 100 volume this month, I'm going to earn 1 point this month. Does that make sense? If I have 10 people and they all do 100 volume, I'm going to earn 2 points. 100 times 10 is 1,000, divided by 500 is 2 points, right? Again, though, it incentive, and we're gonna talk about this, but it's so simple, guys. If I'm finding new coaches that will actually go through the quick start and actually go out and try to build a challenge group, actually go out and try to get to Emerald, actually go out and try to get to Success Club. That's really what I want. So versus just bringing in anyone and everyone just to say I got a coach that, and they don't go through a quick start. They don't even care what Success Club is. Does that make sense? But new coaches that produce value can score you points. Everybody understand that? Okay. And I believe 59 is the most you can get from that, I believe. Okay. As far as for elite. So if you max out your new coaches in Success Club and your new coaches in elite, you're at 114 points. You only need 11 more points, right? In order to hit the 125 mark. The third area is something called ATV. All right. And I'm just going to keep this as simple as possible. As you build a team, ATV is advancement team volume. And I don't want to confuse you on this, but advancement team is pretty simple. Anyone that's within 3 levels deep of you. So I sponsored someone who sponsored someone who sponsored someone. Anyone in those first 3 levels can count towards your ATV, advancement team volume. Okay. Why is that? Because for you to get to diamond, you've got to sponsor someone who sponsors someone. For you to get to star diamond, then your first person has to get to diamond, right? So any one of those 3 levels can help you advance in rank. That's what ATV is for. Someone who's 4, 5, 6 levels deep doesn't help you. So when you look at someone like me, I mean, I've got several groups that are in our team. You know, all of Aspire with Tina and Joe Gonzalez, like they don't count for elite points for me. Their volume doesn't count, right? Liz Bellini's team doesn't count. Tina Osborne's team doesn't count, you know? So there's a lot of teams that are growing that doesn't count. The only way that you can score those is in your first 3 levels. So with that said, if you're bringing in people, the best way to do it is to bring in people that will go out there and try to bring in people, right? Let's keep this as simple as possible. Who am I finding? What am I looking for? All right. But ATV, and it's all based on growth. So for every 10,000 total ATV that you grow from last year to this year. So let's say last year you were a brand new coach and maybe you had, I don't know, 20,000 ATV. Every 10,000 above that, you're going to earn 1 point. Does everybody understand that? Okay. And you can earn a max of like 35 points. So if you grow your ATV, and I got to tell you, the best recruiters, the best team builders will grow their ATV 350,000. I grew my ATV like 800,000 in 1 year, something like that, right? In my best recruiting year. So that can grow pretty fast. But ATV, and you want to understand that advancement team volume, all right? And I know this sounds like it's a lot of numbers and all that stuff, but I want to make sure that you guys understand. And when we go down through some of these questions, it's, you know, no matter who you are, I think you'll have a better grip on really what you want to do. But that ATV growth, you know, if you're a brand new coach this year, then every 10,000 ATV volume you earn is going to go towards that. So you started at 0. So if you go out and you build a team that creates 158 ATV, 150,000, you're going to get 15 points, which is going to be more than enough for you to hit elite. So there's no reason why brand new coaches can't hit elite. This isn't something that is just for the people like me that have been around for 6 years. This is, in fact, there's a lot of coaches that started last year that are already in, that have hit it. Okay. And then the 4th requirement to hit elite is that you have to be an official 5-star diamond rank. Okay. And some of you are going, man, I'm just trying to get to diamond myself. Well, that's a great first step to you getting to 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. Does that make sense? That would be a great first step for you. And you can make that happen. The faster you make that happen, the faster your people will make that happen. So if you want to wait and take 9 months to make that happen, then you can expect your people to take 9 months to make that happen. It all depends on how fast you want your team to go. If you go out and get there in 30 or 60 days, then when you enroll new people, you can set that as your target because you did that. And you can expect that. Does that make sense? Right? It's all really, you set the pace of your team. Okay. And then you have to have at least 2 new diamonds that you've personally sponsored show up in 2014. And then the kicker, which makes it a little tougher, is that they have to still be diamond at the end of the year. So you can't just go build a bunch of discount diamonds and then they all fall down. And at the end of the year, they're not diamond anymore. You're not going to get the recognition. All right. And if somebody scores the 125 points, but they don't get the rank part, the 5-star plus the 2 new diamonds, I mean, what does that mean? Well, someone like Tina Gonzalez, who is already 5-star diamond, she doesn't need to hit 5-star. She has to officially be a 5-star with at least 2 more new diamonds this year. So she's got to find 2. If you're sitting at diamond or you're sitting at emerald, you got to hit the diamond and find your 5 people to make that happen. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that. So here's really this. All right. So what's the purpose? What do we want to focus on? I mean, really, when I look at the elite rules and the system and the points, okay, it really is in an attempt to keep us focused on continuing to spread the word, continuing to put coaching in front of people, continuing to grow the network with new people, not relying on the ones we brought in 3-4 years ago, okay, but new blood. Okay, so listen, whether you're me, whether you're Tina Gonzalez, whether you're brand new and this is your first call, and this might be an overwhelming first call for you, and you're like, I don't understand all this stuff. Listen, at the end of the day, here's what matters is this. How many people am I introducing to coaching? How many people am I inviting to be a coach on my team? Am I focused on building my team, continuing to build my team with new people? And that's the first thing, new blood. I want you to write this down. Phase 1 is retailing and recruiting. Am I building a challenge group every month? Am I looking to upgrade those people to coaches? Am I looking to get in contact with my customer leads? Am I offering them to look at coaching? Am I looking for other people that might want to come in as a coach first, right? And then the second thing is this, the people that I'm bringing in, am I getting them through the quick start and getting them to focus on building their first group, hitting Emerald and hitting Success Club? Am I giving them those targets? Am I making Success Club a priority? And the first step to making Success Club a priority is that I need to make it myself, right? So no matter who you are, brand new, not brand new, long time, six-year veteran like myself, if I'm not making Success Club right now and I don't have new people that are doing the same thing, I'm not going to score elite points, okay? And the whole deal is this, you're always going to need new blood, always, okay? If you want it to grow, you're gonna want to bring new people in. And am I getting those people focused on Success Club? And then then the third thing is this, am I duplicating? Am I getting my people to do the same thing with their people? 3 levels deep, 4 levels deep. Does that make sense? So it really is just rewarding team building. I want you guys to understand something, because especially when you're brand new, and we get into this in ramp a lot, and I don't like to cover things in the Monday Night Swarm that we cover in ramp. But I got to tell you that you know, the Beachbody coaching opportunity is the #1 product that we offer. Okay? People's lives change drastically when they become a coach. I got to tell, like, I was listening to something the other night about Alcoholics Anonymous, and you guys know, I mean, I've struggled with my weight, and I'm a food addict, and I talk openly about that stuff. You know, and what's funny is the 12th step of Alcoholics Anonymous that alcoholics know that they have to do, right, is they have to go out and help another alcoholic, right? So I know this, the person that's losing weight, if they don't begin helping others do the same thing, chance of them keeping that weight off is minimal. That's the truth. It's the 12th step of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's probably the 12th step of Obesity Anonymous, right? Does that make sense? We provide that in the terms of being a coach for people. So coaching is the #1 thing that when we bring in new challengers, we should be having a long-term vision for those challengers, that they're a coach in training, that while they're a challenger, all we're doing is getting them focused on learning the first vital behavior of being a product of the product. That's it. While they're a challenger, they're learning vital behavior #1. Be a product of the product. Drink your shake every day, push play every day, track your results, engage with the team. That's it. And we got to get them groomed to do those things, right? Then when they become a coach, they already got that knocked out of the park. Now they only got to learn to do 2 more things: invite people and continue developing themselves. Pretty simple, right? When I don't know why we overcomplicate this thing. It's not that complicated, but when you're bringing in new challengers, you should be thinking, my job is to take such good care of them that they have no choice but to become a coach 30 or 60 days from now, right? Everybody understand that? So I had some questions that I wrote down, And maybe this will answer some of them. Okay. So the first question that I had written down is, how do I know how many points I have and whether or not I'm doing the things that it takes to score points? Okay. Well, you should be receiving an email update once a month. It's the second Friday of the month that tells you your score through the previous month, whatever your total points are. Okay. You want to make sure that you're on that email list. You should be getting that automatically in your email that's registered for your coach account. Number 3, why do I see zeros on my scores? Right? Well, I don't know if you've opened up that Elite thing, but if you're seeing zeros and you feel like you're working, then chances are you're either not team building, you're doing the retailing side, but not the team building side, right? So there's 2 ways: retailing, bringing in challengers. Now you just got to learn how to team build. Once you learn how to team build, you start doing that, and you start learning how to team build with quality people who will go out there and start challenge groups and go out there and share what we are. Now you're going to start scoring points, right? Now you're going to start scoring points. Okay. We already talked about what if I get enough points, but I don't have the rank, right? Let's say that I don't have the number of diamonds that I need to get Elite. Well, that's why they have Premier. And there's nothing wrong with being a Premier coach. You know, I mean, there's some really great coaches that hit Premier last year. So they started a second category for the people who do have the points in our team building, but maybe they didn't quite get to the 5-star rank. Okay. And that's Premier. Another question: what if I'm a newer coach? Well, here's what I would tell you. All right. Is ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. And the fact that you're a new coach tells me this: you got a brand new opportunity to go out there and blow people's minds away. There's new coaches that signed up in February, March, April of last year that hit Elite for 2013. If they can do it, there's no reason why you can't, other than in your own mind. Okay. But you're going to have to start getting focused on team building. You're going to have to learn how to go start team building. Does that make sense? So new coaches can hit it. There's no criteria that said that you have to be a coach for 2 years in order to hit it. Brand new coaches can go out and make this happen. Okay. All depending, but listen, it all depends on how fast you want to go. It all depends on your skill level and how much time you have to work this, and all of those things add up. Okay. Number 4, why so much focus on team building? Well, I sort of explained this earlier, that through building a team, guys, more lives change. First of all, the coaches on your team have an opportunity to change their lives even more drastically. 1, people who have lost weight have the chance to become accountable by helping others do the same thing, right? 2, they're going to get introduced to personal development, which can change their life drastically. It's changed my life drastically. Personal development has. 3, they're going to be ingrained in the community of people. I mean, who wouldn't benefit from being part of our community, quite honestly, right? Of positive people who are supportive, who are encouraging, who are holding each other accountable to a certain standard. It's nothing like what you get out there in the real world, right? And so, and we know this, that the more mouths that we have out there, our mission, and you need to know this mission. It kills me when I talk to coaches and they don't know this mission by heart. Our mission is to help people achieve their goals and live a healthy, fulfilling life, right? Well, let me tell you something. You can't fight that mission alone. You just can't. Imagine if our network was one coach. How many lives would be changing if our network was one coach, right? How many people would be getting into a challenge group if we had one coach in the network, right? It doesn't make sense. What makes sense is to have as many people talking about what we do as possible, as many people spreading the word, as many people helping people locally and on social media, as many people as we can get promoting, as many people as we can get inviting, as many people as we can get engaging. That's how we reverse obesity. That's how we reverse financial struggle in this country. It's not going to be by one person doing everything. It's about a lot of people doing a little, everybody doing their share, everybody pitching in, okay? And that only grows if we team build. Does that make sense? So it's, for me, that's why I focus on team building, because I know more lives will change if I build a team of great coaches, okay? Number 5, how many new coaches would I need to hit elite? Well, I could probably tell you, like, the average elite coach enrolls at least 5 coaches a month, okay? But it depends on the quality of coaches you're bringing in, how you're bringing them in. Are you just trying to bring in discount coaches? Are you looking for people who will actually do what we do? Okay, so I would say at least 4 coaches a month, one a week, and you're moving in the right direction. And for some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? Well, listen, let me ask you a question. Okay, what is today? Tuesday. Can you find a coach by this Saturday? Could you find one person this week to become a coach? Could you find one person this week to become a coach that would actually want to make money working part-time, helping others in health, fitness, and weight loss? Could you find one person that loves Beachbody that might not have heard about the coach opportunity? One person this week. Don't worry about next week. One person this week. Can you do that? Can you wake up tomorrow morning and go, I'm not going to stop this week until I enroll at least one person and do my part to move this mission forward? Because if you can do that this week, don't you think you can wake up next week and do the same thing? Right? Don't you think that the only reason that you don't do it is because you've talked yourself out of doing it? You've convinced yourself that you can't. You've convinced yourself that nobody wants to. You've sold yourself on your own bullshit lies that are lies. And yes, I said bullshit because that's what it is. Every one of you, everyone that's on this call or listening to this recording is capable. You're capable of going out this week and finding one person. And the only reason we don't is because we're not sharing coaching with people. That's it. And if you're not sharing coaching with people, then you got to ask yourself, why am I not sharing coaching with people? Right? Why am I not? So I wasn't going to get fired up today, but I can't help it. It fires me up. So, all right, number 6, how do I find coaches that will work? And my dog even knows this. If my dog's moving, he's going to go find a coach right now, okay? Champ is. No, he's not. He's going to sit here and watch me find a coach. But anyway, how do I find coaches that will work? Well, the one best way that I can tell everybody that they could do, okay, is to start with finding challengers and then helping them get results. And then as they become enthusiastic about their results and enthusiastic about Beachbody, then present coaching to them. Because now their enthusiasm is high, their results are there, and they're more likely to actually want to do something with it. They could see themselves sharing it with people. That would be the first way. The other way would be to focus on, people who already have lost weight, who have already done that, and they love fitness, they love weight loss, they love this stuff, and they just haven't figured out how to make money with it, but they would like to, right? And you put it in front of someone who could see this as an income opportunity and see themselves doing what we do, okay? Number 7, how do I help my coaches get to Diamond? Because that's part of the requirements, okay? Well, the first thing is this: you've got to do it. How do I help my coaches get in Success Club and get to Diamond? Step 1, you do it. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. If you're not in Success Club, you can't expect your coaches to be in Success Club. You just can't. So you might as well kiss the points goodbye, because unless they're just extremely like, screw you, I'm going to do what I do, which isn't normally the case. Number 2, you do it. Number 2 is you tell them to do it. It's pretty simple. You set it as a goal for them, and then you show them how you did it. It's pretty simple. Learn, do, teach, repeat. Can you learn how to get in Success Club? Yes. Can you print off a Diamond chart and learn how to get to Diamond? Yes. That's the first part. Learn. Can you do that? Yes. Step 3, teach. Can you show them how to do that? Yes. Don't overcomplicate this thing. Okay? If the first step is for you to get to Diamond, then you're going to want to get into a ramp group. I got to tell you that when people get into a focused group and they get focused on a goal and they get focused on learning and they get focused on doing, they go out and they take action and they make things happen a lot faster. So if that's you and you've been kind of meandering around, put yourself in an accountability situation where you do it with a group of people. We're going to be starting a new ramp group April 14th. If you're a brand new coach, get into Coach Basics. Get in there and spend time with me and the other leaders on this team and learn what we do. Because we're going to tell you, we have every incentive to tell you guys that. So listen, I hope that helps you. At the end of the day, you could stress out about these points, or you could just say, you know what, really what I need to do is just start building a team. What I need to do is get out of my own way and start offering coaching to people and start introducing coaching to people and understanding that that's a good thing to do. Because it is. It's a good thing to do. My life has changed. My personal life has changed drastically, physically, financially, emotionally, because I'm a coach. Okay. So I appreciate all the work that you're doing. I'm glad that we took time tonight to kind of cover this because it's not something that we've covered before. And I think that it's not up to me which one of you takes this and runs with it. It's not up to me which one of you inquires more about it. It's not up to me which one of you decides what you're going to do with it and who you're going to introduce it to. But what is up to me is to present it to you and let you make the choice of what you want it to be to you. Period. End of story, guys. I love you. I thank you for your work. I have no doubt that some of the best leaders in this entire network that are going to be rising up are right here on this call, right here from this team. I have absolutely no doubt about it. Okay, we've got people in this organization that have proven that. So, guys, thank you. I appreciate your time. If you have questions, comments, I'd love to hear them in the Swarm Cave, and I'll see you there. We'll talk to you later.